God bless you. I was speaking to one of my daughters online a few minutes ago, and the Holy Spirit reminded me to share this with most of you that maybe a man of God, a woman of God have raised an altar for you, probably an altar in your house. So I should let some of you know that the reason why those altars have stopped working for you is not because the man of God did not raise the altar well, or the woman of God did not raise the altar well. No. But the reason why such altars are not working for some of you is because some of you, number one, is either you did not activate such an altar with a sacrifice when it was raised. And secondly, those of you that activated that altar raised for you with a sacrifice have not been renewing that altar with a sacrifice. And you will agree with me that the strength of every altar is dependent on the sacrifice on it. What will make the God at any altar to respond to you or to your petition is the strength of the sacrifice that you drop at that altar. So I'm speaking specifically to those of you now that an altar has been raised for you by a man of God, a woman of God. When last did you activate that altar with a sacrifice? That is why the strength of the sacrifice at the altar of your enemies is now overwhelming your own. And that is the more reason why their attacks, their decrees, their enchantments at those altars are now working on you. I don't know who needs to hear this anywhere. If you have an altar in your house that you have not activated with a sacrifice, or you have not renewed with a sacrifice for the past 6 months, brother, carry a sacrificial seed. Drop it at that altar. Pray on that your house altar, family altar. Ask the Lord and say, Father, today I've come to meet you at this place of the altar that I erected in so month, in so day. Lord, I have come to activate this altar afresh with a sacrifice. As you finish praying with that sacrifice, it can be a financial equivalent of a cow, a goat, a ram. As you finish praying that prayer, ask the Spirit of God to guide you to the altar where you ought to drop it. Make sure it is a praying altar. I prefer most of the times that you go back to the altar of the man of God or the woman of God that raised that altar for you and drop that sacrifice. You know why? The more that man of God pray at his own altar, the more his own altar can be able to cover your altar and be able to ensure you have a spiritual covering over your family. I don't know who exactly needs to hear this, but I feel led to share it with you, and I pray it blesses someone. God bless you, and bye for now. Shalom.